What is up, everybody? I thought it would be a good idea to throw the camera on and kind of go through the different trade scenarios within the top 10. This is PFF's mock draft simulator, and it's really in-depth. I mean, you can trade, you can do all sorts of stuff. Like, look at all this crap. Like, there's a lot of stuff you can do. But just looking at the top 10, guys, I could see 3, maybe 4 trades within the top 10. This is PFF's big board. I don't agree with Zach Wilson being ahead of Justin Fields. But just looking at the quarterbacks, I don't know if we can just go to that. So you got the Jaguars. Obviously, you're expecting Trevor Lawrence to go number 1. Right now, the consensus is Zach Wilson going number 2 overall to the Jets. Whether or not that changes, it seems pretty entrenched. I've been watching NFL Network, things like that. I mean, there is a strong trend right now for Zach Wilson to be locked in as the number 2 overall pick to the Jets. Personally, I think Justin Fields is the clear QB2 of this class based on what he's done in college, his athleticism combined with his accuracy. I think Justin Fields' most underrated trait is accuracy, and Zach Wilson does not have the athleticism, does not have the height that Justin Fields has when it comes to those traits. Again, I don't think Zach Wilson is bad. My comparison for him is like a more athletic, smaller Kirk Cousins. So I think he can be like maybe a fringe franchise quarterback, although going to the Jets, while they have some pieces, they're working on their offensive line, it's a barren team. And would Zach Wilson start week 1? Would that hurt Zach Wilson? I'm really not sure. The Jets really have to take it slow with Zach Wilson and surround him with talent. But based on what's going on, we're expecting Zach Wilson to go number 2. So we have the 1st and 2nd overall pick. Obviously, Lawrence is a lock to go number 1 to the Jaguars. The Jaguars tanked this entire season. And guys, tanking really does work. I am a Browns fan, and back in 2017, 2018, I was actively rooting against the Browns because it's better to be terrible and get Trevor Lawrence than be terrible and have to get Trey Lance. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to be terrible, listen, they benched Gardner Minshew. To me, it's a smart play. You just got to get him. But guys, when it comes to the 3rd overall pick, the scenarios with the Miami Dolphins right now, you have Tua Tagovailoa. They said they believe in him. I think Tua can be a star in the NFL. There's also the Deshaun Watson thing. And I've seen some crazy mock trades with Deshaun Watson, guys, when it comes to him potentially getting traded, kind of in a 3-way deal where Tua goes to like Houston, Deshaun Watson goes to Miami. There's just crazy different things. So I definitely expect Miami to trade out of this position. You take a look, I would probably guess it would maybe be a team like Carolina. Guys, when it comes to Carolina, I do not see the Carolina Panthers starting Teddy Bridgewater week 1 of next year. I don't know how you can explain that to your fan base. And it's nothing against Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater, his perfect role in the NFL is to be what he was on the New Orleans Saints. He's a backup on a good team to where if the starter gets injured, he will keep your season intact. Let's say someone gets injured, a top-of-the-line starter. Let's say Dak Prescott's out for 4 or 5 weeks. He just signed that massive deal. Let's just say he's out for 4 or 5 weeks. Teddy Bridgewater can go in there on a team like Dallas. He can go 2-2. He can go 3-3. He can keep your season alive. But guys, watching him as a starter with DJ Moore, with Curtis Samuel, I get Christian McCaffrey was injured. But, you've got a guy like Robbie Anderson, who's a speedster, really good receiver. They have weapons, and it just wasn't working out. So I would look for a team like maybe Carolina. I mean, look at all this crap. Maybe Carolina, to trade 8th and 39th, or I don't know if they would, involve a 2022 3rd rounder or a 4th rounder. I'm not sure. But, maybe something like this. You're going from 3 to 8th. You have to throw, obviously, the 8th pick in, the 39th, and then maybe 3 to 8 is a pretty big move. Maybe a 2nd rounder in 2022 for their 3rd overall pick. And by the way, how about Miami's 3rd overall pick coming over from Houston? That Houston trade for Laramie Tunsil never made any sense. And people, they praised Houston for making that trade. You guys remember when Houston traded 2 first-round picks for Laramie Tunsil, who was in a contract year due for a massive deal? The only way I could ever think trading 2 first-round picks for Laramie Tunsil would be a good idea would be if Laramie Tunsil was under a controllable salary cap friendly, multi-year deal. They traded 2 first-round picks for Larry Tunsil and had to give him a massive deal on top of it. No wonder Deshaun Watson wants out. That was a terrible move by Houston, and now they don't have their number 3 overall pick. By the way, guys, I actually think Houston has a lot of leverage when it comes to trading Deshaun Watson due to Deshaun Watson's contract situation. He signed for a while, and many teams are going to be bidding on him. Also, that Matt Stafford trade. You guys, not a lot of people remember that. It's kind of already old news. Matt Stafford netting the Detroit Lions 2 first-round picks along with a quality quarterback in Jared Goff. Jared Goff's nothing special, but this is a former number 1 overall pick who is a serviceable option. He'd be a phenomenal backup, but he is a serviceable, at least average level starter in the NFL. I understand he got a big boost due to Sean McVay. Sean McVay is a very good offensive mind, and I think Matt Stafford's going to be very good, but that trade actually upped the Houston Texans' leverage because they can say, listen, you know, look at what the Rams had to give up to get Matt Stafford, who's 32. He has 2 years left on his contract. Deshaun Watson is arguably a top 3 quarterback right now in the NFL. Whether or not you want to put him or Josh Allen after Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. I have Patrick Mahomes as the number 1 overall quarterback in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers as the number 2 overall quarterback, and then it's a battle between Josh Allen and Deshaun Watson. I know people are going to say, you know, Josh Allen had a better year last year. It's 1 year. Let's see Josh Allen actually repeat it. Deshaun Watson's had 3 elite years of quarterbacking. But last year, obviously, while he had a good year, the team was 4-12. But that trade was just unbelievable, guys. See how I just ramble on? I go from topic to topic. But guys, the 3rd overall pick, I think it's guaranteed to get traded. There's just going to be too much value for Miami, and whether or not they're sold on Tua, with the whole Deshaun Watson angle, we'll have to see. Will they try and make a trade for Deshaun Watson? I really don't know. But, maybe a team like Carolina offer this trade. I'm not even sure what this is. Let's just force the trade. That's the thing with PFF. They like what is this? So now we have Carolina with the number 3 overall pick via a trade. And we are going to draft Justin Fields here. They get their franchise quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater. There was a mock trade going on with Deshaun Watson that included Teddy Bridgewater to Houston as their quarterback. I'm like, what are you doing? So we move on to the Falcons, and the Falcons are in a really interesting spot. I've seen actually a lot of mock drafts with Justin Fields going to the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons normally never have like a top 7 or 8 pick. Even when they're bad, they're kind of like 7-9, 6-10. So to see them with a top 5 pick, this is a rarity for Atlanta. You don't see it very much. They've been a good team. They've had Matt Ryan. I like Matt Ryan. He had a phenomenal season when he won the MVP. Obviously, they ended up blowing the Super Bowl. That was thanks to Kyle Shanahan. People forget about that. Kyle Shanahan really is an overrated coach, and he handed Tom Brady a ring by not running the football. We understand that. But guys, when it comes to what the Atlanta Falcons are looking to do, I see them, if they like Matt Ryan enough, trading out of their spot. Literally, there's just too much value. The quarterback position here, guys, you still have a Trey Lance on the table. We saw Trey Lance at his pro day today. He got a lot of hype. Obviously, NFL Network, they're going to be nice to him. They're going to North Dakota State. It's a small school. But he did look good throwing the ball. He definitely has the physical features. I don't know, what is he, 6'3"? What, it's 6'4", 226. It's impressive. But Trey Lance, you're going to be looking, this is another possible trade for a team to come in, swoop in, and get Trey Lance. To me, the interesting thing I'm going to be looking at, a team like San Francisco. I'm really interested in what San Francisco does when it comes to addressing their quarterback situation. I don't think Trey Lance is the right fit for them because they're kind of in win-now mode. I would really like to see them somehow move up in the draft to get a Justin Fields. I don't know what their draft capital looks like right now. Like, if we went to trade with other teams and we just saw... Now, obviously, in this scenario, Justin Fields is picked 3rd overall by Carolina. Let's say they take Trey Lance. I want to see the 49ers. See how hard they make this? Like, where are the 49ers? I can't even find them. I'm literally like a 3-year-old sifling through teams. Okay, their draft capital, they have all their picks, it looks like. So, if you're going from 12 to 4, it's a big jump. You would have to go 1st, 2nd. So this is where it gets tough. Do you have to throw in a 1st in 2022? You probably do. But honestly, if I was San Francisco and I thought I could get my franchise quarterback, I wouldn't be too bothered about throwing in a 1st in 2022. And then to get their 4th overall pick, Atlanta. With Atlanta, it's just, again, they could actually take Trey Lance, have him mentor under Matt Ryan, because Trey Lance, a lot of people don't think is ready to start. He's coming from North Dakota State, and he played 1 game last year due to North Dakota State saying, oh, we're so scared about COVID. They're trying to have a spring season. They end up losing. It's hilarious. I can't believe you're going to cancel your season. Give me a break. So we're going to offer this trade. See, PFF is just like, this is a good value trade. I don't understand what the issue is. You're going from 4 to 12. You throw in your second rounder, which is a decently early second rounder, and a first rounder. What do I have to throw in a second? Do I have to throw in a second? Dude, PFF is such a joke. They add their little mock draft trade thing. This is just, I've threw in a first, a second, and 2/3 for the 4th overall in Atlanta. Oh, let me throw in another first, guys. This is, I mean, what is this? Wait, is this, I'm not even sure what this is, guys. But realistically, like, to me, a realistic trade, it's like a first and a second rounder in 2022. You trade to the 4th spot, so you're swapping 12 to 4, and you give them a second rounder. Trading from 12 to 4, you're going to have to pay a steep amount. You could throw in a 2023 second rounder. I mean, PFF, whatever, dude. So we're gonna have San Francisco move up, and then if you're San Francisco, obviously, if Justin Fields is already gone, they would be looking at a Trey Lance type at that point. But again, I don't know if that would really fit them. A lot of this is speculation, guys. A lot of it is speculation, but we will go here with Trey Lance for San Francisco. Really athletic body, big body. I saw that 6'4", 226. Yeah, they were talking about how just his girth. I mean, he's an impressive looking dude. And then when it comes to the Bengals, I see them keeping their pick. Obviously, they had the Joe Burrow injury. I think they're very scarred from that. They're going to really try and shore up that offensive line. They actually had Jonah Williams. Who remembers Jonah Williams? That dude fell off the face of the earth after getting drafted, am I right? That tackle from Alabama they took in the first round. Whatever happened? I know he got injured his rookie year. The dude is nowhere to be seen. He's nowhere to be seen. So we are going to take Sewell, the tackle from Oregon, who didn't play at all. He opted out of last year. And really, that was a smart business move. You're the top tackle in the class. People are calling him a franchise-type left tackle. And the Bengals obviously need help with the Joe Burrow injury. They also need to upgrade the receivers a little bit. I think T. Higgins is possibly a solid number 2 receiver, but that dude is nowhere close to being a number 1 receiver in the NFL. He doesn't have the speed. AJ Green, we know how old he is. I'm guessing AJ Green wants to try and go to a contender. We'll see what happens, but he can be like a quality wide receiver 3, embracing sort of that role, although he seems to have injury problems later in his career. We'll have to see if he can come back with a strong year wherever he plays. Moving on to Philadelphia, I really don't think Jalen Hurts is an NFL level starting QB, but it looks like they're going to try him for a year. This is another team who the needs say quarterback and linebacker. I'm looking at like a Jamar Chase type. I know they drafted a receiver last year in the first round. Maybe Micah Parsons. Guys, I think Micah Parsons is a surefire stud. I mean, I love Devontae Smith too. Waddle I have concerns about. I actually have Rondale Moore rated higher than Jalen Waddle. I love Rondale Moore. Where do they have Rondale Moore on this board? See, they actually have him 21st. Jason Owe, no way. Jason Owe is going to be one of the big busts. Bateman, I'm not seeing it with Bateman being ranked 18th. Where's the physical tools there? You need, if you're going to draft a receiver in the first round, I don't know, guys. But when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles, I think they should take Micah Parsons personally. I think he's an absolute beast. I know he sat out last year, but either Chase or Parsons, and I'm going to go Parsons for him. Moving on to the Detroit Lions. The Lions made a phenomenal trade. They really made a phenomenal trade, trading Matt Stafford, getting 2 first-rounders, and Jared Goff. I would actually look to flip Jared Goff if I was the Detroit Lions personally. When it comes to looking for a player at this point, it says they need an edge rusher. Ouch. Not a good position to be in because the edge rushers in this class, I think, are massively overrated. You have Kwity Paye. No thanks. I would not take Kwity Paye. How about maybe a receiver? Maybe a Jamar Chase. You are losing Kenny Galladay. You're not going to franchise tag him. You're a tanking football team. The Lions said we're not franchising Kenny Galladay. So we'll see what happens there. But just looking at the big board for them, do they potentially trade back to a quarterback needy team? Guys, I think there's going to be one more big trade when it comes to the first round. You also have Denver right here. Do they look at a Mac Jones type? I've heard Mac Jones and Carolina. If Carolina stays at where they're at right now, possibly trading to possibly taking Mac Jones. I'm not a fan of Mac Jones personally. You take a look at the quarterbacks left on the board, it really only is Mac Jones, and PFF has him ranked 33rd. He's obviously going to go a lot higher than that. That's just how quarterbacks are. Now, once you get past Mac Jones, I think Mac Jones is probably going to go in the top 10 personally, guys. So I think there will be... that's going to be 5 quarterbacks going in the top 10. But when you get past Mac Jones, this quarterback class it's disturbing. It's an eyesore. And what tends to happen is a lot of these guys are really going to start falling down the list. Jamie Newman sitting out the year at Georgia. Not sure I understand that. There's been some hype around Kellen Mond. I guess we'll see what happens. I don't think Sam Ehlinger's an NFL arm. There's just no depth with this quarterback class, it feels like. Davis Mills was actually a 5-star recruit. I do remember him. He went to Stanford. Stanford, not a lot of skill position players there to help your quarterback, but Davis Mills did nothing in college that was substantial. So I think Mac Jones will go top 10. Trey Lance is a lock for top 10. Justin Fields is a lock for top 10. Zach Wilson is a lock right now for top 2, although we'll see what happens with the combine process. I think Justin Fields is going to start seeing more hype. And then you have Trevor Lawrence, the ultra lock to go first overall. Trevor Lawrence, a franchise quarterback. He is the best quarterback prospect that's been in the NFL draft since Andrew Luck. We understand that, and one of the best prospects I've seen in baseball, basketball, and football. Actually, the best overall prospect, the most hyped up prospect I've personally seen is Steven Strasburg. And probably Bryce Harper, a close second, but then I would say Andrew Luck. I mean, everyone was obsessed with Andrew Luck. But looking at the Lions again, guys, I kind of just ramble on. The Lions, who am I going to have the Lions take? Let me look at this really quickly. Hold on. All right, guys, so I think I'm going to be trading the Lions' 7th overall pick to the Denver Broncos. Denver getting a little anxious trying to get their quarterback. Drew Lock is just simply not an NFL level starter, guys. We need to admit it. He didn't have the best weapons last year, but you can watch him, and I'm a self-proclaimed quarterback guru. You see things with some of these guys, and it's just like he's just not NFL level. You're not NFL level. The game's too quick for you. You can be a nice backup. You need to get seasoned. You need to sit on the bench. You're still young. This is a kid out of Missouri. I mean, he was so raw coming out. So, guys, we're going to be making a trade here. We've got Denver moving from 9 to 7. So, I'm guessing, you throw in maybe a second rounder from 9 to 7. I know it's only a 2-spot move. Maybe a third rounder, honestly. We'll throw in a third rounder. And you know what? We'll spice it up. We'll throw in a later pick, too. You're going from 9 to 7. So, I think that's a decently fair trade. We're just going to force it. I mean, PFF's just a joke. Again, I'm just trying to get this going. So then that would mean the Detroit Broncos, the Denver Broncos will be taking Mac Jones, who I don't like. But guys, I'm telling you, the quarterbacks in this class, they're going quick. We've got all these trades to look at. I don't even know, man. There's so many trades here. Moving on, I'm going to be having the Miami Dolphins. So Miami would be moving from 3 to 8. They have a lot more capital right now, obviously. This would be Miami if they move from 3 to 8. In this certain scenario, it would be them basically saying we believe in Tua. And if you believe in Tua, you're going to want to get Tua some help. Bring on, and I know it says they need a tackle, they need a guard. Bring on Jamar Chase. This is a beast, guys. People forget about Jamar Chase. The one thing I'll say about Jamar Chase, I view him as an upgraded version of Justin Jefferson. And I know that sounds weird because they were both at LSU, but it's like he's like Justin Jefferson, but he just does everything a little bit better. He's just a little bit more smooth. And I know that's tough to believe. You look at the rookie season that Justin Jefferson had. He was in a good position, with Kirk Cousins. People hate on Kirk Cousins, but let me tell you, Kirk Cousins will put up some garbage time stats like the best of them. So that helped Justin Jefferson, and obviously Justin Jefferson's a phenomenal receiver. Now Detroit moves down 2 spots. They get a little more draft capital. They get a little third rounder. They get a little fifth rounder for next year. Okay, I like what they're doing. And you know what? With Detroit, it's just tough. You may have to go Kwity Paye here. I just want a plan from Detroit. Are we going into a full rebuild mode? If we are, I'll take the tackle from Northwestern. If we're going into a full rebuild, I'll look to trade Taylor Decker, and I'll take the tackle from Northwestern. That's if they go into a full rebuild, which is what they should do. We'll see what happens with Jared Goff. They may be enticed to say, hey, we can still be competitive. I know Kenny Galladay didn't get tagged. We'll have to see what happens with that. And then Dallas, guys. I think Dallas is an ultimate team to potentially trade down. I know a lot of their fans would be loving a potential Kyle Pitts pick. Kyle Pitts is really a hybrid tight end receiver, and I think Kyle Pitts is going to be, I'm not going to say he's going to play receiver in the NFL, but he's going to look like a receiver, man, because the thing is, in college, he looks like a small tight end for college. When he goes to the NFL, at least his rookie year, he is going to look like a receiver because he's just a small dude. Now, for being a tight end, I'm saying. Now, he is a beast. I mean, you could play and put him out at receiver. He's a beast. He's definitely a matchup problem. If you're Dak Prescott, you're going to be hoping you get some weapons. Many people were disappointed with the Cowboys, or they were surprised that the Cowboys gave Dak Prescott a massive deal. That's just the reality of the quarterback situation. Listen, Dak Prescott, whether you love him or hate him, he is a franchise quarterback. I think I had him ranked 12th to 13th overall in my QB rankings, maybe 10th. And guys, that's coming off an injury, so he could have been even higher. We do have to admit, and we do have to tell Dallas Cowboys fans, he got a lot of garbage yards. I mean, I've never seen a certain player get that many garbage yards game after game after game. Every game they were down by 20 in the second half and made some sort of comeback. They were able to come back due to the onside kick against Atlanta. But you watch that Cleveland game, some other games, Dak Prescott, they were down by like 30 points. He threw for 300 yards in the second half. Listen, I like Dak Prescott, but these Cowboys fans, they get obnoxious with it. Like, let's calm down. I know he averaged like 400 yards per game. A lot of that was due to circumstance. You know, if they were up in those games, he's not going to be throwing. He's not going to be getting those yards. So it's all circumstantial, but I do like Dak Prescott, and that's the price you pay for a franchise quarterback. And guys, it's interesting the Cleveland Browns are not offering a contract extension to Baker Mayfield. I think if the Browns really believed Baker Mayfield was a franchise quarterback, they'd be offering him an extension right now because he hasn't made a Pro Bowl yet, so you can maybe get him a little bit cheaper. But they're not offering him any sort of extension, so that's a situation to watch with the Browns and Baker Mayfield. A guy with a phenomenal offensive line had the OBJ injury. The receiving core wasn't that dynamic. We'll see if OBJ comes back and is on the Browns next year. I expect him to be. The Browns need OBJ badly in that receiving room. You've got a good slot guy in Jarvis Landry, but he can't go down the field. He's a slot receiver. Jarvis Landry is a slot possession receiver. Rashard Higgins is a solid number 2 receiver, but you need OBJ as that deep, dynamic big play threat. But guys, I'm actually just going to have Dallas make their pick here, and we are going to go, I'm not even sure who to go with. It says they need a defensive lineman, a cornerback, maybe Farley. We'll give them Farley. So guys, those are the top 10 picks. Honestly, if I tried to do the first round, it would probably take me 2 hours. Just because I just keep talking and just points go to a different thing, things like that. So this is just the top 10 mock draft lists. There are going to be so many trades, guys. It's unbelievable. We have free agency starting up. I am so fired up for this. I actually wanted to show people, I'll save that. But Deshaun Watson, this is the reason why Deshaun Watson can be traded so easily and why the Houston Texans have a lot of leverage. Guys, on September 5th, Deshaun Watson signed a massive 4-year extension. And you take a look, he's not an unrestricted free agent until the age 31st season. So this is a guy just entering his prime. He's healthy. He's proven. This is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. That is why Houston, and he signed for a long time, albeit it's a lot of money. But this is what you're going to have to pay franchise quarterbacks. This is what you're going to have to pay them. So this is why Houston still has some leverage when it comes to the Deshaun Watson trade talks. They can salvage this. They can. Get draft capital. Obviously, the Laremy Tunsil trade was terrible. I don't know why people liked that. They're like, oh, it gets Deshaun Watson help. It didn't even do anything. Deshaun Watson still wants to be traded. Laremy Tunsil's sitting there with him. You know what? Laremy Tunsil, folks, let's look up Laremy Tunsil's contract. If it'll please load. I'm telling you, I swear they gave him a big extension. Where was the big extension? He signed a 3-year, $66 million extension. Traded to Houston from Miami with Kenny Stills for a 2021 6th-rounder, 2020 4th-rounder. Look at this, 2021 1st-rounder and a 2020 1st-rounder. So 2 1st-rounders. Laremy Tunsil, and he's taken up $21 million in a cap. Oh my God. They need to try and trade him, but I don't even know what they could get for him. Laremy Tunsil, I'm not hating on him. He's a solid player. The trade for him was so pathetic, and no one even talks about it. You want to talk about a bad trade. Guys, when it comes to the mock drafts, I want to see Justin Fields on San Francisco. I think that would be a great fit for him. We'll see what happens. Carolina needs a quarterback. They can't go into next year starting Teddy Bridgewater. We'll have to see. How about Carolina re-signing Curtis Samuel? Underrated player, Curtis Samuel. We'll have to see what happens with that. I don't know if they're going to resign him. I'm saying they should resign him. Zach Wilson going number 2. Yeah, I'm not buying Zach Wilson. I don't think he's better than Justin Fields. But right now, the consensus by everyone, I mean, I can't mock, Justin Fields number 2. Realistically, it'd probably be better for Justin Fields' career if he didn't go to the Jets. I'm not one of those people that hates on franchises like that, but I mean, the Jets have been a bad franchise. The whole thing with Sam Darnold, you could say Sam Darnold wasn't good, but I mean, was he really even given a chance? I don't know. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.